Okay, so good morning, good morning, good morning. I haven't talked to all of my peeps in a long, long time. How y'all doing today? This is Mrs. Harper. Yes, I'm a little whatever with my hair today. I washed it earlier this week and moisturized it real good, and I got it in some curly plaits so that my hair can stretch and breathe and get the moisture it needs, before I put it up in braids. Probably in February or so when I put it back up in braids. But I just want my hair to breathe and whatever. So this is my hair, and I got it all like tight down real good, and brushed down real good. Thank God, So I just want to talk about my story and where I am today concerning, um, my life, my journey. So let's go back a minute. Let's revisit breast cancer. That and I'm going to put keywords in there like breast cancer, chemo, and then end stage renal disease. Okay. So God has been good to me. I am presently an 8-year survivor of breast cancer, stage 2B breast cancer. Yay! And I've been through a lot of changes with that, emotionally, spiritually, you name it. I've been through it. I've been through it. And God has brought me through it all. I didn't really obey God, as far as rest or sitting down or standing up for myself, knowing that it's okay to rest, it's okay to, look out for yourself and stuff like that. It took a lot for me to go through that. It took a lot for me to learn through my breast cancer journey. And I'm talking about breast cancer right now because uh, yesterday was the 31st, December. And so I went to my breast surgeon. I usually go to her like once or twice a year. I visit my oncologist twice a year, but I usually go to my um, oncologist and my breast surgeon. And so she wrote me a prescription like she does every year for me some bras. So what is that? Never took the thought of getting some bras properly fitted for me. I didn't think well of myself. My self-esteem was very low. Um, I didn't really love myself. I wasn't in a very good place to where I wanted to get reconstructive breast surgery and things of that nature. I had a right breast mastectomy surgery back the 2014, I'm sorry, December 14, 2012 is when I had it. And mm, I had that done. And I didn't think anymore about my breasts. It didn't make me feel personally, everybody's different, but for me personally, it did not make me feel any less of a woman. And I really didn't like my breasts growing up as a girl because I've always had small breasts. I was always a full figured chubby girl, so the chubbiness kind of made up for it in size. And then when I lost 144 pounds, I'll show you pictures. When I lost 144 pounds, my breasts went back small. So, I was teased at school and, at home. I was being called, the flat chested plains because I didn't have much boobs. If anything, I took my shapeliness from my mother and my dad's side of the tree. Mostly from my mother's side with the hips. We all had those pear-shaped hips. So, waist down, I've always had a small waist. When I lost 144 pounds, I got to a size 10 or 11. And I had a small waist, and I'll show you pictures of that. And then from the waist, it just the hips and the big thighs, and somewhat large legs, but wasn't big. And then that was it. But my chest was like, as you can see, I'm full figured now, but it was, a little flatter than this. But I hated it because I was teased. I was teased a lot for being flat chested. I wasn't pleasantly endowed like my mother or my sister was. And my sister is endowed. She's blessed. My mom is blessed too, and she had kids. I've never had kids, never been pregnant. I had a chemical pregnancy, but that never fruitioned into an actual pregnancy. And that was like a year or two after we got married. About a year, yeah, after we got married. I was pregnant. I was on my way to my Uncle Fred's funeral, and I tested, on the strip that I was pregnant, um, it said I was pregnant. But when I went to my OB-GYN doctor, she said it was a chemical pregnancy. It wasn't an actual baby in there. And so I thought, I had a uh, embryo growing. I was just so excited. Me and my husband, we were excited at the time. And then I slipped and fell at work trying to hurry up to my uncle's funeral. And, I was so afraid the whole time that I had lost the baby, but it never fruited into an actual embryonic baby. So I never had a chance to ever become pregnant or any form of pregnancy at that time. But it felt nice to, at the time, rub my belly and um, thinking that I was going to, bring forth a child in the world. I'm a lot better about it. I used to cry about it a lot. I used to go in the store and smell baby lotions on purpose just because I like the way it smelled, and it helped me heal about not ever getting pregnant or having children. So I'm a lot better about that. But anyway, getting to that. So I never liked my boobs. So I figured I went to Dr. Norris. One of my friends, Tammy, referred me to Dr. Norris. We all went to Prairie View together. She had breast reconstructive surgery. And I told him I wanted big boobs. I wanted boobs to sit out to here. I wanted me some racks, because this was my chance to redeem myself and get what I wanted. And he said that would maybe hard. That would probably be hard to do because my insurance will only pay so much for implants. But since I'm a big thick girl, and I still got weight on me, that I can put my natural fat into my breast pockets. Especially this side that's totally flat, no breast whatsoever. I can, and then have this side kind of filled up where they look asymmetrical. So um, that's how I'm going to do that. That's how I'm going to remedy that issue. Now I have me a new bra, and this is I'm not exposing myself for anything being decent. I have pictures that I can show, and I'm putting that on my Facebook. But I got these bras yesterday, and I am so happy. I haven't shopped for bras since 2013. My mom and sister would buy me bras and stuff. And, I would fill them up with the pads that I had. But I have an actual, not silicone, but an actual prosthesis that feels like silicone, but it feels natural. So that when people hug me, they're not feeling something stiff or hard. Like, what the heck was that? You know, but you can tell it feels like a natural breast. And I like that, especially when my husband hugs, you know, and he really likes it. I modeled for him this morning and he really liked it. I showed them all six of my bras. My insurance paid for them. Everybody's insurance is different. And I got this prostheses, and I got another prostheses that I could wear for swimming or when I go exercising. So I'm real happy about that. Very happy about that. I never took myself serious. I didn't feel loved. My self esteem was low, even though my pictures look like glamour shots, or when people do my face, especially, I look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I never was that type of person. I just knew on the outside I looked good to everybody. And so I never felt good enough to want to shop for a bra. I didn't feel sexy. I didn't like how I felt about myself, you know. But I said, when this year, before this year ends, 2020, when it was today, it's 2020 now, 2021 now, I'm going to be good to myself more so and get myself some bras. So that's what I did. I went on the very last day of the year and got that because my insurance pays at 100% because I'm a dialysis patient. So, yeah, yeah. And I just wanted to cry. I mean, and the lady like, wow, you haven't shopped since 2013? I said, no, I haven't shopped since 2013. I never knew to really keep up with myself. I've had the weight loss surgeries. I've had I had two weight loss surgeries. I had the gastric sleeve. I had the duodenal switch. Um, I did good for a while, then it just kind of stopped. I was 405 pounds each time. I was 400 the first time, 405 the second time after chemo. And I lost all the way down to 280, but I'm still kind of plateauing right there. So I have to lose more weight because of to put me on the what do you call that? Transplant list for a kidney transplant. So my kidney, my blood type is O positive. So one of my high school friends, that's a nurse. She is a dialysis, no, not dialysis, kidney transplant nurse. And I thank God for her every day. And she hit me to the game where, sometimes with O positive, that blood type is hard to find because O is a universal blood donor thing. And I'm O positive, I'm not O negative. So it's going to make it a little bit more special for me. So she said that even though when I do lose the weight, I probably have to wait another 7 to 8 years. So I'm cool with that. I'm very okay with that. I told God, that even after I lose um, mm, the extra pounds to qualify, because I have to get down to 190, even though when I lose the weight to get down to 190, I won't be so surprised or upset or bent out of shape because, oh my God, nobody has my blood type. And oh my God, I got to wait all these years. I'm okay. So, with that notion, I'll probably do a separate video about the end stage renal disease and what I went through with that. But I'm okay to wait, even if I have to be on dialysis for a good 10 or so years, I'm okay with it. I have researched where people have been on dialysis for 8, 10, 20 years, 30 years. Shirley Caesar, the gospel singer, I look up to her. She's been on dialysis a long time, and she still gets up and sings God's, praises, And so that's where I am with that. I have my good days. I have my bad days, where I feel grouchy, I feel moody. Um, what else with that? Grouchy, moody, nausea for the most part. I'm always nauseous for the most part. Um, like yesterday, I mean, my husband took me to Papa's. I mean, he took me out to eat twice yesterday. I just had to be careful what I ate because I didn't want to have an unwanted picnic and waste that kind of money, So I still tend to bring my food home with me, to keep from wasting it. Uh, what else with that? Mm, can't think of anything else. So anyway, yeah. So I just feel positively better about myself. I thank God for my dialysis, my end stage renal disease. Like Cindy Flores, I watch and follow her videos a lot, um, and uh, it really made me sit down and pay attention to my surroundings, pay attention to my marriage. Not that I've never paid attention to it, but it really made me pay attention to me and my husband's relationship dynamic and where I am in the relationship and where he is in the relationship. It made me have a better appreciation of knowing how to flow with him a little bit better, but yet to, I want to say teach, because I still think in some aspects women can teach men. You do have female teachers. And I really had to teach him how to respect my boundaries and respect my wishes and just respect me, period. And it made us better together. We've even gone as far as we've been sharing one car for 5 months. It's something I would never thought I would do. You know, um, I've always been hard pressed about having my own car, ever since my early 20s, because I had to teach myself. One of my ex-boyfriends had to teach me how to drive, so I had to really get out there and learn how to drive. I didn't go the proper way, like my brother did, driver's ed and stuff like that. I didn't have that privilege. I could have, but I chose education over that. I just felt like, oh, I can always learn how to drive later or do that later, and it never became a forefront focus for me to drive. It was more of his than it was mine. Education was always my biggest thrust, my biggest drive. So I thank God for that, because like I said, it helped me understand money a lot better. I'm on disability, so it helped me learn that a lot better. It helped me learn exactly where my money was going, and I could see the fruit of my labor and not just giving out money or spending money or whatever. I learned to say no, and I learned to say not right now, and I learned to say not today, or not too much, but this enough. I'm learning more about money discipline, self discipline when it comes to that. I've learned more about food discipline. I learn about a lot more about my attitudes and other people, my surroundings and other people. Um, I learned to just be quiet and let God do it. Uh, Even in vindication, I learned to be quiet and let God do it. Um, so yeah, so that's where I am. Today is January 1. I'm so happy. It's Friday. It is like 9:19 in the morning. I'll be having my dialysis today, but a little bit later today than normal, which I'm okay with because my energy level is real high during the day. And in the evening time, after 3 or 4 o'clock, it just kind of like shh. So by the time my nurse gets here, I'm ready to like shut it down. I'm ready to shut it down. I don't even want to go any further. I just want to shut it down. Um, yeah, that's where I am with that. I am just so tickled and so happy with my life today. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. Where I am, where I've come from, I've come a long ways. I'm more cognizant about what I put in my body now. I'm more cognizant about what I eat. My husband bought me this beautiful watch. I can like tell how many steps I've taken. I've had a different kind of Fitbit before, but this one is a little bit more fancier, so I really love it. I slept with it, so I'm going to program it a little bit more fancier, so it'll tell me, how often I sleep and all that beautiful stuff. And I'm realizing sleep is very, very important to weight loss as well. It's just things that I should have learned when I first had weight loss surgery, and I'll probably do a separate video for that too, for all the weight loss people out there who want to do it. Um, I'm gonna have a separate video about all my breast cancer journey people out there. But this will be a mixtape kind of YouTube talk. Okay. I want to say I love my mom. I love her the more now. I really love my mom. We talked on this past Monday, and I finally got some things off my chest that I had on my heart since high school and college. And I really held it against her and my dad for a very long time. And I'm being strong. I feel that cry want to come on, but I'm not going to cry about that right now. But she forgave me, and I asked her to forgive me because I held that, and I don't even have tears about it as much. I don't even feel the hurt, and I just thank you, Lord, for healing me of that, because I said I did not want to come in 2021 with that on my heart or on my conscience or in my mind or in my soul, in my being with that. I want to move forward. And so I'll have my scriptures on my wall like I normally do. My nurse talks about me. I don't care. And just remind myself, when the devil tries to remind me of my past, remind me of my past hurt and whatever, I'll just say, no, I'm pulling down every vain imagination, everything that raises its head up against God. I have forgiven everyone, all those that have hurt me, disappoint me, misunderstood me, my old bosses that have hurt me. You know who you are. I have great bosses now, at both schools that I teach, love them to life. So I forgive, like Miss Amanda Broussard, Miss Amanda Broussard Jackson. I forgive her. I wish I could see her right now. I want to cry about that. She was the greatest boss that I had, but I was so hurt and just misunderstood. My kindness was taken for a weakness, and it was just totally misunderstood. And I'm a kind, sweet teacher, but I'm ambitious, and I think people get intimidated with me with my ambition, and I like being ambitious. I don't know. I've just always been that way. I've been that way since a child. I've always been ambitious. I knew since I was 15 that I wanted to be a physician. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be a neonatal nurse practitioner. And then in my 40s, I want to go back to med school and become a physician. Well, I'm 51 now. So, med school is a little busy. I'm married now. I had the invitation to come into med school at Baylor, 2007, when when I was working for the insurance company. My boss was my VP, my senior VP of the insurance company. She was in law school, and I was telling her how I wanted to be a physician. And I had my TSU professors in healthcare supporting me because they sat on the board for Baylor. They were pulling me in. I had Dr. She was my mentor. She was a pediatrician. I haven't seen her in a while. She bought things for my house as a housewarming present. I mean, I had all kind of physician connections and stuff to become a great physician. And, I had to let that go because, my husband wasn't ready for me to be a physician at the time. We were still very young in our marriage. Insecurities, just it's like I said to anybody, you're doing your career, you're going to school, your goal is set. Focus on you. There's no sin on that. Please know that. Focus on you, live for you in the moment. You can always go back and help people after you've accomplished your dreams, what you want to do, and then get married. Okay. But when you do marry, it does change the dynamics of how you accomplish things. It really does, especially if you don't have that person that's not cut out for that. I know um, for some women that are physicians that are, married, it takes a special person to be married to a physician. I never had kids. So when I look back at my life, I'm like, dang, I could have been a great physician, man. I had no kids. I didn't marry till I was 31. I didn't meet my husband till I was like 2 weeks shy of being 30. So it's like I could have kept dating him, I think, and not married him so fast. I think I would have married him. I think I just needed to learn him a little bit more and corrected some things before I said I do, right? And then that way, a lot of the drama and the hurt that I've been through in marriage, and then he been through too, but mostly what I've been through, I wouldn't have gone through that because I saw a lot of red flags. I just felt like, and like any other woman, oh, I get married to him, he'll change, he'll change, I'll change him, he'll change. No. And it took years. It took years. It took prayer. It took God. It took me to be quiet. It took me to learn how to not be so engaged and to back up. It took a lot for me to let God change him. I couldn't change my husband. Only God could change him. And let me tell you, um, with this COVID situation, it has made us so much more in love with each other. We really have a lot more appreciation towards each other. He caters to me a lot better now. He's a lot more thoughtful. Bobby's always done the dishes and the laundry. He's always done the laundry. I mean, I like doing laundry, when it's laundry day, because I like focusing on laundry all day. He likes doing laundry every day. And then sometimes we get, when I'm washing, he washing, or he washing again, or I'm washing again. And it's like, look, dog, hey, it's either me or you. Who's doing the laundry? And he didn't like how I did laundry. I mean, I know how to wash clothes. My mother taught me. I know how to separate clothes and stuff, but he prefers to do it. And it's still sometimes I could smell the clothes. I mean, this is clean, but I could still smell the clothes and I'll throw it back in the dumpster. And then he'll be like, "But I just washed this." I said, "Smell that. Does that smell clean? Hell no. Am I wearing that? Hell no. I'm not wearing it. Rewash it. And when you do wash it, don't leave it in the washer. Take it out the washer or else it'll spoil." Okay? When you leave your clothes in the washer more than 2 days, it's spoiled. It stinks. It smells. Why are you going to take something that you left in the washer 2 days and put it in the dryer? It's going to smell like booty or something, and it's clean, but it's a nasty clean. It's a funky clean. And I'm sorry, I won't wash my face with it. I won't dry my body off with it. I won't even put my booty in it if it smells spoiled and nasty. So he had to finally learn me. And this year he got it. He really got it. And when I tell you what really happened when he did it to himself. And he's like, "Smell this, does this smell clean?" I said, "No." Now, don't that smell like something I told you before? Why are you doing that even to yourself? And you doubting to wear that? If you doubt to wear it, don't do it. So now he understands what I mean when I say about washing clothes, wash it on time, dry it on time. Just don't do it, man. If you know, oh, I washed this today, Friday. I washed this Wednesday. I didn't, no. Put that on a quick wash. Put a little Woolite or something in there, kind of, or a little Gain or whatever detergent. Refreshing that on a 6-minute wash, and then put it in the dryer. Okay. Nobody wants to put on funky clean clothes. It's just a double negative for wearing it. Anywho, that's my soapbox for washing clothes. I'm sorry. I'm just real funny about clothes. I'm real funny about a lot of things. I'm real funny about my kitchen. You know, I'm real funny about a clean house. I'm I'm real funny about a dirty, junky refrigerator. I've always been the one that love child that will clean out your refrigerator. If I, I'll be like, sometimes I'll be going to some folks' refrigerators. I'm like, oh, I want to. But it ain't my house, it ain't my refrigerator. I'm gonna close the door and sit down and pretend I didn't see that. I'm sorry. You would rarely ever come in and catch. Now, I may have my refrigerator full of condiments, but after a while, I'll be like, "You ain't touch that. You ain't drink that. You ain't drink that. You ain't drink that. Like I'm a person that likes to constantly declutter. Like if my bathroom is cluttered, oh believe you me, I looked at it today. I'm like, it's time to declutter. My closet gets a little bit too. It's time to declutter. I got some clothes in the drawer. I'm like, I just, I don't know. When my pantry looks full and I'm like, I haven't eaten that, haven't eaten that, haven't eaten that. And I don't look at the date. I don't believe in giving away food that even I won't eat, especially if the date's too old. I believe in giving away food that I will eat. And I think that's something me and my mother-in-law talked about Christmas Day, about how her church didn't like food pantry food. They like for you to buy the extra food. And I think the revelation just kind of hit me, and I have to call my mother-in-law and talk to her about that. We have great conversations, me and my mother-in-law. We have great conversations. And I think I'm gonna tell Mama that I think Pastor Russell prefers you to bring food fresh from the store, bring something you would eat, not something like, oh, this is, and you ain't never had that brand. You ain't gonna eat that brand. Why would you feed it to somebody else? And for some folks, that's fine. But I'm just that kind of person. I'd rather give you something I know that I'm gonna eat myself, you know? And sometimes it could be no name brand, especially if I like it. I'm gonna give it to you. But if it's stuff like, I might make some bread pudding with it or something like that, put it in the freezer. But after a while, I mean, I even like that with my freezer. I don't like a junky freezer. I would clean out my freezer. I can't. I have a deep freezer. It's not big like I want. I'm gonna give you another one. Bobby chose that one. That's the difference between a man and a woman. A woman gonna choose big, right? Women, we like big. Men, they like small. Oh, I didn't think. No, bro, you didn't think because you didn't bring me with you to the store. Because if you knew you brought me with you to the store, I'd have wanted that $200 freezer instead of that $130 freezer. Because it'll make sense later. Hello, men, men. Let me help y'all out. Listen to your woman. Listen to your wife. They know what needs to be in the house. Save yourself the drama. Okay, yeah, you might have to peel off that extra 100, 200. But from a long-term standpoint, it's going to make sense. And you're going to be happy with what the results are. You're going to be happy. I think that's another thing my husband is finally getting is listening to his wife. He's finally getting that. He had to come back and tell me he was sorry yesterday because he misunderstood me about something. And I told him, he likes to talk and he talks for a long time. And it's like, okay, babe. And he's like, you cut me off. I'm like, okay, Bobby, this was not my show. This was someone else's show. I'm always asked to be the mistress of ceremony. Love it. And I said, this was someone else's show. And they had the rundown of how things were going minute by minute by minute. So I'm sorry. I feel the tug and the pull when it say that's enough. If a preacher say 2 minutes, that's enough. Now you're gonna have some pastors, they're gonna get up, or some folks gonna come and kind of sit you down because you done went 3 minutes and they said two, not three. You done did 3.5. Sit down. Okay, you kind of know when you're over talking. You kind of sense that if you pay attention to your spirit, you kind of sense when you're over talking. It's time for you to wrap it up and sit it down. I guess that all comes from what do you call that? Attention deprived. When you're starving and thirsty for attention. It's something I got to really help my husband with. Oh, good morning. I see somebody NC. Oh, North Carolina worker. I don't know. Maybe it's that Jill. Is that you? Good morning, NC worker. I see you chiming in to me. Okay, so anyway, I'm just rattling on. I'm just having such a good morning, a good day. I pray y'all have the best year ever. 2 + 0 + 2 + 1 = 5, the number of grace. I pray that this would be the best graceful year. Everything goes smooth and gracefully for you this year. I really pray that, you know. That's about it. But anyway, if you go to my Facebook channel, my personal Facebook channel, I'm going to show you and talk about my story of my bras because it really needs to be something said about that and my prosthetic journey with breast cancer and stuff like that. Okay, so it's going on 35 minutes. Okay, I think I said enough. I love y'all so much, and y'all be blessed. And I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm gonna have a lot of things coming this year. In between, all my dialysis and stuff, I may have some pre-recordings of stuff, and then have y'all to email me or ask me a question, or we'll have a live room chat. But I probably do a lot of pre-recordings for the CPC exam, the CMA exam. One of my students, yeah, she asked me, I gotta print something up for her. I'll do that so I can get it to her. Anyway, all right, I love y'all so much, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.